Just like any good mom, Mother Nature sometimes loses her temper, puts her foot down, and shows us the error of our ways. Here's an entire hour full of those moments when planet Earth was subjected to some good old-fashioned parental discipline. These birds in Mexico just suddenly stopped flying, and we just don't know why. This is the wavy bog. I wonder how it got its name. If the river starts flowing rocks, you might want to back up. Extreme rainfall flooded this library in New York, causing $10 million in damage, including priceless historical documents. So, not a great day to pay a visit and borrow a book. Yep, let's just stand right by this massive cliff that we're expecting to collapse. A luxury apartment in China with a less than luxurious balcony. If you want a perfect snowball made by Mother Nature herself, then this is where you need to go.
Perfectly seared ice balls. They just keep coming.
When you accidentally capture the end of the world on film. Looks like somebody's forgotten to switch off the bath. Believe it or not, this insanity was the result of a hailstorm. If the side of the road looks like this, then it might be worth investing in a boat. It's not often you catch a tree being struck by lightning, but when you do, the results are dramatic. These fishermen certainly were not expecting to catch a wave. Is that rain? Yes. In just one spot? Yes. How? We don't know.
Succede ancora. Stai contro luce si vede meglio.
Sometimes the sea just gets tired of being in the sea. A horrific landslide from a sensibly safe distance. A landslide is bad enough. The fact that there's a power station underneath is even worse. In retrospect, maybe parking on that giant crack wasn't the best idea. News reporters often travel to cover disasters, but it's not often the disasters travel to the news reporter.
我本人在现场几乎站都站不稳了。那尤其我们的天花板几乎是剧烈的摇晃，很多东西都掉下来。也提醒在电视机前的观众朋友呢，务必要小心安全。那尤其现在地震正在发生中，那么现在的地震强度呢，处台北的盆地的中心，那其实在3楼里就可以感受到明显。
If you can outrun an avalanche, then you can officially call yourself a good skier. Well, that's not weird.
Watch these walls. Oh my god, bro. What?
Since the Titanic started the trend of hitting icebergs, every cruise ship wants a piece of the action.
Oh my gosh! It's Titanic!
A flood that decided to take an entire forest on a relaxing river cruise. The definition of living on the edge. Yellowstone National Park was looking a lot more brown after this extreme flooding. There's no greater display of power of a typhoon than it folding pieces of buildings like paper. Like dropping an ice cube in your drink, but a lot more dangerous. Don't quote me on this, but it may just be slightly windy out there. This is called a fire-nado, and yes, it's just a big swirling inferno of nope. The epic ice shoves of Lake Michigan caught on film for your viewing pleasure. Proof that your roots aren't always important.
Floating like this. It's not okay. You can't just do it. They still have not finished cutting down this tree.
Typhoon Yagi triggered severe flooding and landslides in northern Thailand, and here's some of the devastating footage. The absolute worst day for your train to be late. Looks like we've been visited by aliens from the planet Emoji. Another waterspout, this time in Cuba. The eruption is pretty sensational, but wait for the shockwave.
Watch out for the shock, it's coming.
A really bad day to leave your driver's side window open. When a canyon floods, it's always an awe-inspiring sight.
Chance of flash flooding, maybe.
Chance of flash flooding.
All right, we gotta move.
Okay, let's get out of here.
This flow just increased like.
Let's go, come on. Let's go.
Any flood that can do this to a car can officially be classified as serious. Since Mother Nature provides her own fireworks. Not a great emergency for any emergency vehicle that runs on an internal combustion engine. Playing the floor is lava on a massive scale. As I think we all know by now, the sea is just weird. You know it's a big crack when you have to film it from the air. A landslide, almost taking an entire forest with it. It doesn't matter how luxurious the setting, you can't escape an earthquake. As much as you might want to, there's no point in running from this sandstorm. Floods don't get much more terrifying than this. This is called Rainbow Island, although the only color I'm seeing is a whole lot of red. You've no doubt seen footage of an earthquake before, but how about an underwater earthquake? As if the alarm isn't scary enough. A pretty dramatic way to deal with someone parking on your driveway. Is that a bus in a river, or a river making its way down a road? When water can move cars, then you know it's time to start panicking. It's moving along the street like a long, slimy black creature. It almost seems to be alive. Footage like this really highlights the awesome and destructive power of a typhoon. The sky at night, suddenly looking like a jellyfish. Clear skies in Bolivia allowed this breathtaking time-lapse of the sky. A swarm of jellyfish, or bloom as we jellyfish experts say. No pair of shoes is safe. Well, I didn't really want to go any further anyway. Don't buy a house right next to a tree. Just don't. These glowing rocks are called euperlites, and you'll need to go to Lake Michigan to see them.
There you go, pick that up.
Pick that up, Shirley.
About a
Wow.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the half of a rainbow you never get to see. A bunch of rocks that just don't want to be a cliff face any longer. Well, you've got to give him 10 out of 10 for effort. When a small community encounters large-scale devastation. A picturesque German village which really doesn't need a new river. Another few minutes and they won't even need to push that car. Footage from Mecca, Saudi Arabia, where it's difficult to tell the difference between a river and a road. It's not only fast flowing, it's rising and rising extremely fast. A sight definitely worth getting your camera out for. Massive volcanic activity captured from above in a plane. Rain is already rare in Dubai, but hail is even rarer. This is a landslide and a half. Well, everybody wants a room with a view. It looks like the road is pretty angry in this clip. The world's most fashionable jellyfish. When you avoid a storm, but still get front row seats. In China, one night the sky turned red, and nobody really knows why. Scary enough to run away from, but not scary enough to stop filming. Not the best caravan holiday you could ever wish for. Everyone wants a home with a view, but this isn't it. This mall should really have a sign outside saying, "No entry for storms." We've seen footage of cars carried away by floodwater, but here's an example of the aftermath. Can you imagine how horrific it must be for a street that's so familiar to you to end up like this? When you look at the northern lights in a time-lapse video, you realize how extraordinary they truly are. This is officially the best way to measure wind speed. That's some seriously icy ice. He's an optimist. You gotta give him that. This high school survived a lightning strike, but only because this tree was in the way. The really worrying thing is how calm everyone seems to be. A terrifying landslide, and a filmer who waited too long to run. You've heard of the man on the moon. Meet the man in the sun. The longest cloud of all time? Probably the best place to be standing, unless you count several miles away. Relief workers drop supplies after a horrendous cyclone in China. The guy in the excavator has precisely the right idea. Run! Yep, that's the kind of lightning strike that reverse gear was designed for. What once was a town is slowly becoming an all-encompassing river. The only tornado you can get close enough to hug. Some of the most amazing moments occur in parts of our planet we can't go. Here is aquatic life thriving right on top of volcanic rocks. A mini tsunami still provides maximum scariness. A stream of people, followed by a stream of water. Looks like a massive amount of floodwater has come over to visit. Sharing your breakfast with humpbacks. A tunnel? Or a portal to better weather? Some leaves are so lazy that they just can't even be bothered to fall. Water? Or a really low, angry cloud? London wasn't a thriving metropolis on that day. After a cloudburst in India, this was the terrifying result. A sight to which you never want to open your front door. A frightening example of just how quickly floodwaters can rise. So, now you've seen this footage, would you like to experience a typhoon firsthand? No? Me neither. This massive mudflow was caused by melting glaciers. A tree that would probably be much happier in Mordor. This is a river of magma. Hopefully the pilot doesn't confuse these for runway lights. Mushroom clouds never indicate anything positive, even small ones. When hailstones get this big, there's not a whole lot you can do. Forest fires, the closest thing to hell on Earth. A major collapse of a major bridge. This duck is pretty popular with the local fish. The most bizarre part of this clip? It's a desert. What's with all the umbrellas? Oh yeah, there's been a little bit of rain. If you live in a place that's cold enough to have glaciers, then the last thing you want is for it to warm up. It's painfully ironic that this place sells plumbing equipment. The dramatic moments following the collapse of a nearby dam. Let's hope the planes that fly from this airport are in better condition than the roof. Wildfires, as quick to spread as they are terrifying.
없어. 미안해.
Now that's what you call a wave. Yeah, I'd be pulling over right about now. And reversing. Sandstorms must be a routine part of his daily commute, or he just really had to get to his destination. On the other hand, you could just walk straight into it. First, there was a traffic jam. And then things got so much worse. Starting the work week with a bang. Sometimes an earthquake is just the beginning.
重的地震，汤方，汤方，重的地震，汤方。哦，这里。
Would you drink spring water from something that looks like it's from the Alien movies? The amazing natural phenomenon of bioluminescence.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Yeah, bro. Oh yes.
Even clouds need a rest every now and then. Most things look small compared to the Grand Canyon, which gives you a good idea of just how big this flood is.
Wow. That was crazy.
This torrential flow was responsible for the hikers who are filming it being stranded, along with hundreds of others. That bridge doesn't appear to be doing a whole lot of good. Judging by that wave, that tiny little wall isn't going to do a whole lot of good. Disasters like this are beyond the skills of any number of fighters. First, everything was fine, and a second later, this happened. When the seawall just isn't quite high enough. Two avalanches hit the place simultaneously. How unlucky do you have to be? Not a particularly dry day at the beach then. Not sure if I'd like to be a passenger on this bus. A Himalayan rockfall with an audience. Mother Nature sure does hate festivals. There's no hug like a seal hug. The sun and this waterfall teamed up to make this amazing rainbow. You never see the edge of a storm, do you? Well, until now. You'd think you'd be more likely to encounter an avalanche in the Australian Tyrol than a flood, but look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see a tree go surfing. If you didn't get seasick before watching this video, then you will now.
Mira, me vuelto solo. Vean los amigos, estudien, cuando les digan por su mamacita, vayan a la escuela y que levántense. Vayan, amigo.
Imagine seeing that wall of dust rolling towards you. Terrifying. Bigger sea barriers are now on the shopping list. Maybe we won't vacation here again next year. Hey, who invited the snow? This is a summer day. Somewhere you really don't want to be during an earthquake. Yep, let's all keep moving in this direction. Is it a cloud? Is it a UFO? We don't know, and neither did the people of China. Is it just me, or does this clip make you want to start singing songs from The Little Mermaid? Yeah, that's gonna take a bit more than a few rolls of paper towel to sort out. When the London Underground becomes the London Underwater. If there's one thing camels aren't naturally built for, it's fast-running waters. I think we can take a guess that this windscreen is not long for this world. RIP windscreen. Have you ever heard of a river of hail? Well, you have now. In fact, you've seen one. If you're anywhere near a wildfire, it can seem like you're right in the center of some horrific furnace. A reverse waterfall. These things can seriously confuse the salmon. Lightning is even more dramatic in slow-mo. the destruction and chaos that only a tornado can provide. Not too much difference between this and being shot at. Many businesses and many lives were ruined by this catastrophe in the UAE. Apparently, bridge watching is a legit hobby now. A colorful house that's about to be consumed by brown. A baby tornado. This landslide looks more like an entire Earth slide.
Oh! Ah, c'est không phải không phải à?
Okay, she wanted beachfront property, but this is ridiculous. These will soon be the most useless railings in the world.
Heavy continuous rainfall.
No, it's not the car that's shaking. It's the world. And then an entire forest went sliding down the hill.
Spingere, cavalli. Spingere. Guarda che là c'è l'acqua sotto.
The awe-inspiring sight of a total eclipse of the sun. Why does Spider-Man get all the attention? And Ibex can do all the things he can. Well, except fight supervillains. This is called the Eternal Flame, and you can see why. This landslide decided to take part of the road with it for the ride. I'm gonna take a guess that it's pretty cold there. Walking on a black sand beach? Or walking on the sky? This is a cylindrical rainbow cloud, as rare as it is beautiful. I'm not sure if that small towel is gonna do much good. To be fair, the garden did need watering. If this doesn't stop soon, the entire cliff is in danger of collapsing. There's nothing quite as weird as a car driving through a river of hail. Ironically, the electricity pylon is the only thing not piling on to the road below. You don't need a high-tech earthquake detection system when you've got a swimming pool. It's never good when the track has bubbles in it. When reindeer panic, they form a reindeer cyclone. And here's the proof. There's being stuck in traffic, and then there's this. But they still just carry on fishing. After a series of earthquakes, Taiwan had its very own Leaning Tower of Pisa. A paddleboard isn't much comfort when you come across a family of manatees. Moments in nature don't get much more spectacular than this. Earthquake? Or very badly installed street lamps? A train is no match for a flash flood. Is it a flood, or is it a runaway desert? They should rename this place River Street. Flash flooding, a truly terrifying phenomenon. And that, folks, is why the deck has so many small holes in it. This is what it feels like when your entire town effectively gets eaten by a massive ash cloud. A dramatic mining process captured from a bird's eye view. There may be just a hint of rain in the air. When floodwater has an emergency appointment at the hospital. Possibly the most impressive shot ever taken on a New York vacation. Never buy a house near trees. The prettiness isn't worth the destruction. An interesting way to commute to work. The road where the tread on your tires makes no difference. An extreme way to clean off the graffiti. As with many natural disasters, the amount of people who lose their homes through flooding is tragic. the hail starts to look like golf balls, it's time to go inside. From a bridge over troubled water to a bridge in troubled water. We've seen clips of floodwater making its way into buildings, so now we're gonna change it up a bit. Another beautiful day at the seaside. The satisfying plop of a massive tree falling into a lake. A little mini rainbow just hiding amongst the clouds. More than 1,000 residents were evacuated by ferry from this Greek island after raging fires cut off all of their means of escape. Well, that's one way to deliver a bulk order of gas cylinders. Rising land or falling water? Somebody must have spilled a seriously large beer. Don't have a partner? Just find a typhoon. You've heard of the Bridge of Sighs? This is the Bridge of Screams. This highway along the Chinese border is no longer a highway. The dramatic after effects of a dramatic cyclone. As if the water isn't running fast enough, it's also running downhill. A person's property, home, and entire life being swept away by the anger of Mother Nature. Whatever that building is, it's not that anymore. An original way to get to work in the morning.
Easy.
A zero shadow day is when the sun doesn't cast a shadow of an object at solar noon. And here it is, caught on camera. Just walking the dog through a cloud of sea foam, just like any other day. From peace to chaos in a matter of seconds. Well, it looks like a Tesla holds up pretty well during massive hailstorms. If you were filming this from that point of view, then, well, you just wouldn't be hanging around to film any more of it. Would you like to go inside of a tree? Of course you would. Follow this guy. You certainly don't see clouds like this every day. In a flood of this magnitude, every bridge is a low bridge. This just goes to show the importance of multi-level car parks.
Take some pictures.
A beautiful Italian village being decimated by a devastating flash flood. Did anyone call a water taxi? One of those days when your boat is worth all the money you ever paid for it. An apartment with a balcony was probably the best place to be at this point in time. Here's why building a road alongside a river isn't always a good idea. A volcano in a lake, both weird and wonderful. This methane-fueled phenomenon in Greece has been burning for 2,500 years. You don't often see scenes like this outside of a movie. The horror and sorrow of watching your home collapse after a natural disaster. Mother Nature making herself known in an ominous-looking dust cloud. An Alaskan puffin just chilling out at home. So what you're saying is that Chicago can get pretty cold, huh? Looks like the world's biggest toilet being flushed. Flash flood or flush flood? Brooklyn, New York, looking not very much like Brooklyn at all. You wouldn't want to hitch a ride with these cars. Yes, you're not seeing things. That's a random person taking a relaxing walk. These floodwaters in India are frighteningly high and only getting higher. If you're visiting here, then take an umbrella. Okay, so apparently physics makes no sense anymore. This weather phenomena is known as a sundog. Words can't really do it justice. There's nothing like a near-death experience to liven up your drive. Floodwater's basically eating this whole house. This house, on the other hand, seems to be setting out on an ocean voyage. A strange red cloud over Cape Town. Why? From where? Nobody knows. It's official. Fish just love a rainstorm. Ah, that's what palm trees were created for. That and coconuts. A brand new river runs through the streets of Murcia, Spain. Personally, I don't think that wall is going to do much good. When the river starts looking like concrete, you know something isn't right. A reminder that when Mother Nature gets angry, there's not a whole lot we humans can do about it. You might think that the weather in Jamaica is always hot, dry, and pleasant. Well, you'd be wrong. It's only a matter of time until this house becomes a houseboat.
That is insane. Holy.
Nobody's getting to any place soon on this road. Well, nobody with two legs anyway. Remember to look both ways, guys. Wait a minute. Is rain falling from the sky or the street? How do you know if a landslide is officially finished? I mean, if I lived here, I'd never drive across that bridge again. When your yard suddenly starts looking like a World War I battlefield. Solo climbing experiences don't get much more terrifying than this. It might just be a good time to move those cars. cars are being swept away, then up is the best place you need to go. Oh, well, this is just a big old clip full of nope. The kind of view from your front window that nobody wants. A terrifying community captured a flash flood on video. At the very least, you'd have some very wet shoes. This scary landslide happened above a highway that you'd probably never use again. Is it an avalanche? Or is it a river of snow? And is there even a difference?
ये देखो ग्लेशियर की स्पीड कितनी है पूरा माल लेकर आ रहा है
It's a lenticular cloud, but imagine seeing this in the sky above your hometown. What conclusion would you draw? This one-of-a-kind volcano burns with blue flames. Incredible! When the sea meets the sea. Okay, did I remember to put any oars in the car today?
Yeah, I've just crashed into a river, dude.
Hold on to your stomachs. Beautiful, but disappointing if you were hoping to find a pot of gold. Attention everyone, it's time for our monthly shower. Clouds that look like tsunamis don't do much for your peace of mind. The flood is hungry, and cars are its favorite snack. Well, I hope these guys can swim because they're not driving out of this. The only time it's acceptable to reverse into oncoming traffic. And the real scary thing? This was the second time it had erupted in 2 weeks. How is he still managing to drive through this? What does this car run on? H2O? A beautiful French town being decimated by Mother Nature's anger management problem. Okay, that's definitely not the way soil should move. The most picturesque surfing you're ever likely to see. If there's no water, then fish are capable of making their own river. Crazy amounts of water causing random destruction in India. What is it with these people who walk out to meet the flood? Do they think they're being polite? The water? And now, ladies and gentlemen, a genuine lunatic. The people at the top were lucky. The people down below, less so. Just a bunch of ice boulders on Lake Michigan, completely normal. Beijing, China, like you've never seen it before. A hydrology station struggles to stay in one piece after a burst dam causes untold havoc. What's stronger, concrete or water? Well, when it comes to this amount of water, there's only one clear winner. An expensive building repair, and an expensive car repair as a result of it. This lightning is so dramatic, it should be nominated for an Oscar. Bioluminescence just never gets old. A strange cloud or a huge amount of mashed potato? The owners had long since gone. What a terrible thing to happen to someone's home. Even the ocean is sometimes less raging than this. Well, at least you've got your own wave machine. For the moment. A weird and mysterious rock formation. Just waiting to roll after anyone who looks like Indiana Jones. Lenticular clouds. Either that or the Martians are here.
Some beautiful clouds. Beautiful clouds.
This is known as a crown flash, and it's pretty spectacular.
Check this out. Holy shit. Fuck is that? Oh my goodness.
Well, that's gonna take a while to clean up. A water slide for people with a death wish. Anyone getting their power from that power station might have a few issues coming up. When trees are toppling like dominoes, the only place you want to be is inside, perhaps even underground. It's amazing how water can give life and take it away, depending on the mood of the unpredictable Mother Nature. Hail like this is not only a danger to property, it's a danger to life. Even when the world is burning around him, this man still finds time to mow his lawn. An encounter with a creature not often caught on film, an ocean sunfish. Stop, relax, and get in that car and go. Well, that's our skiing holiday ruined. Just a skyscraper of ice collapsing into the ocean. You see this every day, right? Nothing quite reminds you of the mystery and majesty of nature like a solar eclipse. Okay, these clouds are getting far too spooky for me. I'm out of here. Alright, this clip has me convinced to stay. I mean, who could resist a breathing forest? Yeah, probably a good time to get off that tiny staircase. A mudflow destroying village after village as it continued to flow. That's definitely not gonna buff right out. Boats are made to be on the water, but not on days like this. If the water almost reaches the window, then it might just be time to abandon the car. Even a raging torrent of water needs to go clothes shopping occasionally. Yeah, maybe I'll just get a room in the airport hotel and try to get a flight tomorrow instead. You need a pretty big fishing pole to deal with this.
Now wide open! Oh my god, look at this, guys! Whoa, I'm sure you guys got a whiff of that whale breath there.
It's just the forest snoring. Nothing weird here. It's either a fire or the apocalypse is here. And he only had one payment left. Well, it was kind of his fault. One of those storms that suddenly becomes a Christopher Nolan movie. flooding, but a very unusual one. A terrifying flash flood after torrential rain in India. It's like a scene from a post-apocalyptic movie. You really get a scale of the enormity of this avalanche by looking at the tininess of the helicopter's shadow. Well, it's a good way to clean a deck, I suppose. The fact they're staying up is impressive, given the equally impressive wind speed. Who ordered the massive flock of seagulls? Anybody fancy a chocolate milkshake? I've said it once, I'll say it again. Put your phone down and run. Cars, houses, nothing is safe from Mother Nature when she loses her cool. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty strong earthquake. Here's why you should always ask for a window seat. Imagine if all train journeys were this dramatic. Fishing, the easy way. The world's most unpopular approach to house moving. Only one of these cameramen is in a good location. Water can fall down the stairs just like humans. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the umbrella isn't really gonna do much. I think we can all agree that this was a terrible day to be riding a bike. Here's an eerie sight, footage of floodwater approaching in real time. Not a great sight to see from your hotel room. Some land doing what land does sometimes, sliding. Now might be a good time to wind up those windows. And that was the day he set off on his great adventure. Sadly, typhoons have no respect for double doors. A waterfall where there should be no waterfall. heartbreaking footage of the terrible flash flooding in Pakistan. In weather like this, even the strongest windows and doors aren't quite strong enough. Oh, well, looks like the end of the world is finally here. And the winner for the weirdest thing ever caught on film is... These kinds of clouds are incredibly rare, and just a bit spooky. A good moment to be standing on a bridge.
Oh, attention, attention.
What's the only thing that could make a tornado even worse? A tornado of mosquitoes. Once again, don't worry, the aliens have not arrived to enslave humanity. This is simply a huge flock of birds. When snow geese migrate, they don't exactly do it in small numbers. This is how fish have a good time. Just the ordinary everyday sight of water gushing out of the ground in a desert? When wild bees want to protect themselves, they make defensive waves like this. Another rainbow, and another complete lack of riches at the end of it.
Is that the end of the rainbow?
This cloud has clearly been separated from his family. Water once again being completely out of place and making its weird way through the desert. And we finish with some incredible footage caught from an electrifying point of view. You can experience the beauty of Mother Nature for free, just like YouTube. But there's one thing we need you to do that Mother Nature doesn't. Click subscribe!